All right, welcome back. We continue with our non-stop coverage of the India-China border talks between lieutenant generals, generals essentially at the Moldo border point. The guests continue to be with us. Commodore J.G. Singh, Manjeet Kripalani, who is the executive director and co-founder of the Gateway House India. Sriram Cholia continues to be with us. And of course, Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. If I could go to Mr. Manjeet Kripalani, if you're there, sir. I have been maintaining that what China has done is a planned offensive. It's an aggression planned with great detail. So, I mean, just asking them for status quo ante, would it be enough? And two, whether just saying that there is difference in perceptions about the LAC really helps the Chinese more than us? I mean, should we actually tell the Chinese that the border talks that have continued to be in a stalemate for a while have to have certain deadline and use this opportunity to really force a deadline on the LAC talks?
To your question, one of the things that I think it's going to be very difficult for us to force anything on the Chinese. They are feeling all-powerful these days, and they will do what they want. The one thing that we really ought to be very concerned about is, and the reason that China is so aggressive is because the growing unanimity of coherence on the Indo-Pacific with the Indo-Pacific powers means that China is now increasingly dependent on Pakistan and the CPEC. And so they already have that access. They are now going to push their access also in Myanmar. And I think that that is going to be another front that we have to pay attention to. So China is going to do whatever it needs to do to fob us off. I don't think it's possible to force them to do anything. We have to negotiate, and that's the only way to work things out with China.
I mean, are we really that helpless? Militarily, I mean, nobody is questioning of escalating or warmongering. But the fact is, there must be something with us that can make the Chinese realize that this procrastination on fixing the LAC on the ground, which helps the Chinese more, because even now, they are giving a perception that they have not come across the fixed lines, and that there are differing perceptions of the LAC because of which the movement of soldiers has happened. While the fact of the matter is that on the ground, they have come ahead of even Chinese claim lines of the what they have been claiming in earlier border talks.
That's absolutely right. But this is an old game of China. This is not a new game. And we should be up to it. We should be prepared for it in advance. And I would say that right now, whatever we need to do to keep them, push them back, we have to be firm. I think they are also perceiving India not to be a ninny. I think they perceive India to be a country with growing strength, which is why they are pushing forward so aggressively. So we do have to push back, but we also now have to understand that just like in COVID, where you have to do tracing back and also tracing forward, we have to study China more. We have to create an in-depth knowledge about the way China behaves and, track back and track forward. So we have to be fully prepared now. I'm happy to see that there is a growing group of China analysts and China watchers now in India. And this is a very good thing. But we now need a deep scholarship and knowledge about China at all levels, because the economics and the military tactics of China are all tied in together.